Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I am AdamMcKola. Hope you guys are all doing well. We have got lots to get updated on today as we hear news regarding Lisandro Martinez, Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United's pre-season tour squad, a striker being linked to Manchester United, Dybala being offered to Manchester United and his wage demands at the moment, plus much more. So make sure you're keeping it locked to the channel by hitting that subscribe button. Get all your thoughts in the comments below on everything we discussed today, as well as we hear Manchester United could be edging closer to the signing of Lisandro Martinez due to the fact that he has picked United over Arsenal. We'll be getting stuck into all of those things, but make sure you're keeping it locked by hitting that subscribe button, as we said. Now let's get stuck in first to that story regarding Lisandro Martinez. Now we hear that Ajax have received an increased bid for Lisandro Martinez from Manchester United of 50 million euros, including bonuses. That was from Mike Verwij over in Holland, who's pretty reliable when it comes to things surrounding Ajax and Dutch football. And that's what he was reporting in regards to Lisandro Martinez, that United had upped their bid 50 million euros, including the bonuses for that. Now, we'd heard before that United and Arsenal had offered 40 million euro packages, which had been knocked back, but it looks like United have increased that offer now. And Lisandro Martinez has been putting pressure on Ajax to sell him. He wants to leave the club. He wants to make that move to the Premier League. And we also hear that Lisandro Martinez has chosen to continue his career with Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. The club must now reach an agreement with Ajax. So we hear that at the same time that we hear of this improved bid by Manchester United. Maybe United have gone, look, is it going to be us or Arsenal? And then from that decision, we'll then make our improved bid or not. That might be an easier way of doing business than bidding for a player that might ultimately not want to join your club. But it looks like Lisandro Martinez has picked Manchester United over a move to Arsenal if United can get that deal done. Will we get it done? We were hearing we wanted to get it done before the pre-season tour squad was announced, and we are now hearing that tour squad has been announced. Obviously, Lisandro Martinez isn't in that. The only new signing that we are hearing is in that is, of course, Tyrell Malacia. And when you look at this squad, we got De Gea, Heat and Bishop, Kovar in our goalkeepers. Bay, Delo, Laird, Lindelof, Maguire, Malacia, Shaw, Tellez, Twanzebe, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. In the midfield, you got Amad Diallo, Bruno, Fred, James Garner, Hannibal, Zidane Iqbal, Scott McTominay, Facundo Pellistri, Charlie Savage and Donny van der Beek. And your forwards are Tahith Chong, Anthony Elanga, Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony Martial, Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford. So that's your team. And when you look at it, you think, it doesn't look like... Obviously, we've got a lot of young players in there, and it's a terrific opportunity for some of those guys to impress the manager so early on as well. If you can leave a good impression on the manager, you may have an opportunity going forward. There's been a few like Shola Sharatire and Fernandez as well, who have been left out of this squad because they're going to be getting loan moves away from Manchester United. But you look at this and you think, you know, we're lacking quality in certain areas. Who's missing? It's only Cristiano Ronaldo and Phil Jones from the first team squad that are missing from this list. Andres Pereira as well, but you know, he hasn't been at the club for a while. He's set to complete his move to Fulham. So you're looking at this and you're thinking United really do need to strengthen their team and bring in players. Now obviously you could add Christian Eriksen to that midfield section. You could add Lisandro Martinez to the defenders section. Hopefully we can get Frenkie de Jong and a deal done for him. Then we'll be linked with the likes of Anthony and today Brian Bobby as well. So very interesting developments in terms of who we could potentially be signing. But ultimately, no signings there apart from Tyrell Malacia, and the squad isn't looking the strongest, so we do really need to improve that squad. And who knows what's going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo at the moment. He's not in that pre-season squad. Will he join up at a later date? It remains to be seen. He's obviously officially from the club being given time off for family reasons. Rio Ferdinand seemed to reiterate that it was true and he did have family issues which he was dealing with back home, but you know, it's out there that he wants to leave Manchester United, so you can understand why people would be putting two and two together and thinking his absence from the pre-season tour squad is to do with that. And you know, if that's the case, we then need to get another signing, because we can't be going into the season with Martial, Rashford, Sancho as our front line. Tahith Chong's probably going to go out on loan. Anthony Elanga, you know, is developing still. and Alejandro Garnacho is so young. So we do need to strengthen and very quickly do Manchester United. But obviously, so far positive news regarding Lisandro Martinez, but nothing done there yet. We heard Chelsea were interested in Frenkie de Jong. That's still rumbling on whether Manchester United will get that deal done, being held up because of payments owed to Frenkie de Jong by Barcelona. And we hear Frenkie de Jong would prefer to join Manchester United rather than Chelsea, and he would prefer to team up with Erik ten Hag again. So United don't have to worry about the backdrop of any potential Chelsea interest. Maybe it's being put out there to encourage United to make a bid and, or settle this payment issue and get involved in that. Maybe Barcelona are trying to make us pay off. Do you know what I mean? So we're waiting to see what happens there. At the moment, it's who blinks first between Frenkie de Jong and Barcelona, and we've got to watch that play out while we wait to hopefully make the signing. But as of yet, nothing is in concrete and the signing isn't done. So we have to wait and see whether this saga becomes an actual signing for Manchester United. As we said earlier, Manchester United being linked with Brian Broby. After talks between Ajax and Brian Broby, an agreement was reached recently. Ajax were about to have further negotiations with Leipzig, but then Erik ten Hag came in the picture, calling Broby in an attempt to convince him of a move to Manchester United. And that is from the Times. Now, I haven't seen much of Brian Broby. Obviously, a young striker that would be brought in for, I think, around £20 million. Again, if you're bringing in young players like Terrell Malacia for that price, then it's probably worth the risk. Because if they don't succeed or they don't go to plan or they don't develop as you want them to, you can probably sell them for half that price or get a lot of your money back. So it's an interesting link with a striker. Could this be, though, United also going, Ajax, we know you want to sign this player. We could step in and make that a bit more difficult for you by showing our interest and making a bid. But actually, we'll back off if you ease up on the Lisandro Martinez and or the Anthony bids. That could be something that I'm just plucking out of thin air and making up. But it could be a little tactic being used by Manchester United. We also hear Paulo Dybala has been offered to Manchester United. And, interesting, from Di Marzio, he says today Dybala has lower demands than at the time. Now he would sign for perhaps €6 million per season, around £100,000 per week, which is pretty cheap for a player of Dybala's reputation and quality. Obviously, he misses a lot of games throughout injury, and he has done over the last couple of seasons. That would be a worry. No doubt in his quality. The talk Manchester United are interested, but it does feel like we're being used at this moment in time. Or is he an option if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves and we're waiting to settle that? It's mad that no other clubs are knocking his door down, especially when that's the price his wages are set at, or those are his wage demands, if that's true. So an interesting transfer ahead with Paulo Dybala. Where does he end up? Would it be Man United? I wouldn't mind us taking a risk on him, but we need to get most of our other business done. I wouldn't want to see us do that in place of strengthening elsewhere, which knowing United we could do. We still need to strengthen in a lot of positions. Let's say Frenkie de Jong eventually gets done, Christian Eriksen signs up, Lisandro Martinez gets done, and Terrell Malacia. You're still looking at that team thinking maybe we need another right back, because possibly Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to be leaving. We need a number 6, and we need to sort out the front line. What's going to happen with Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it just going to be someone like Anthony, or are we going to have to replace Cristiano Ronaldo too? If so, who's it going to be with? So there's still a lot to deal with for Manchester United, even if these deals that are kind of bubbling under the surface do get completed soon. So let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed in the comments below. This might be, unless there's breaking news now, this might be my last video before we head out on tour. We leave tomorrow as I record this now. So we leave on Saturday, we arrive on Sunday. So you'll be getting loads of content from me here. And of course over on Stretford Paddock from the pre-season tour as well. But until then, I'll see you later.